Hello, this is an overview of the Home Phone Connect for Verizon Wireless. The Home Phone Connect is a device that you can use to replace a standard wired home phone line. So if you currently have a regular old-fashioned wired home phone line, you can use the Home Phone Connect to turn that into a wireless home phone line. And I'll try to explain what that means. First of all, I wanted to show you what is in the box for the Home Phone Connect. There's some paperwork, of course. Here is the main unit. Now this main unit, you can see it's covered with plastic. This has connections for a standard old-fashioned telephone, the kind of phone that you would plug into the wall of your home, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. It has an antenna connection and a power supply connection. You see here that there's a USB port. The USB port is not usable by the consumer. It's only for testing and calibration. And there are some pilot lights that are under the front panel of this unit. You can see the markings for those pilot lights right here. Now, how big is this? Here you can see how big the Home Phone Connect is right next to a pen. Gives you some idea of the size of the unit. I'm going to put it down, and there is a manual, obviously, that goes with the unit, and there is a power supply. Now the power supply is considerably larger than the power supply that you might use for a cell phone. That's because the Home Phone Connect has more power, more transmit power, so that it can provide a more reliable connection than the typical cell phone, and I'll talk about that in a moment as well. There's a battery for backup power. If your power goes out, this battery will provide enough power to last for 2 or 3 hours of use. And it has a significant antenna. Now this antenna is bigger than the typical cell phone antenna, again, to improve the reliability of the unit. Basically, what Verizon wants to do is to make sure that your Home Phone Connect gives you the same sort of reliability that you would get from a standard home telephone unit. So let me go back over this once again. Power supply, antenna, backup battery, and the actual Verizon Home Phone Connect. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect all of these items and then show you how they work. The first step in the connection process is to add the antenna. It threads onto this connector, and it takes quite a few turns to get it on. There we go. I'm going to add the battery. Okay, the antenna and the battery are connected. The next step in the process is to plug in the power supply. Power supply plugs in there. And finally, you need to connect it to one of your old-fashioned wired telephones. Here's an old-fashioned wired telephone with push buttons, the touch tone buttons, and I'm going to go ahead and connect it to one of the 2 telephone ports on the back of the Home Phone Connect. Now it's completely connected. I'm going to attach power to this, and then we'll test the Home Phone Connect unit. Now everything is attached, and just as with your regular home phone when it's connected via a wired line back to the phone company, when you pick up the phone, you get a dial tone. And sure enough, here you can hear a dial tone. So you get a normal dial tone, and when you touch the buttons with this, you get the same sort of touch tone sounds that you would on a normal telephone. Okay, so this makes a wireless line a standard cell phone line. It turns it into the sort of thing that you would plug a regular home phone into. And you could actually connect it to your home's phone wiring so that all of your home's phones are connected to this system. And if you have a wired phone line now in your home, you can take that wired line and port it over to this wireless device, and this will become your new home phone service box. So your home phone service would be provided by this. That way you can get a inexpensive wireless line to take the place of your more expensive wired line. And also, if you're going on a trip, let's say you like to go to the beach for a month every year, you can simply take this with you, and that way you can take your home phone with you. Wherever you are, you can have your home phone with you, and it'll work just like the home phone you have now. You can plug an old-fashioned answering machine into it. You can do anything you want. Now, I want to make the point that this is just for a standard voice line. It cannot do texting. It can't do data. It is only for voice purposes. Verizon says that it will not work with a fax machine. It probably will also not work with home security systems that require a phone line, but you better check with Verizon first regarding that. So this is a quick overview of the Verizon Home Phone Connect.